Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Rahab Abu Bakr. Today we are going to discuss The Rainbow by William Wordsworth. It's a poem written in the Romantic period by William Wordsworth. We are going to have a brief idea about William Wordsworth first. Wordsworth was one of the greatest poets of the Romantic period. He was born in England in 1770. He was influenced by nature. He went to college at Cambridge. His main concept of poetry was that it's a spontaneous overflow of powerful emotions recollected in tranquility. In 1843, Wordsworth was honored and crowned as one of the greatest poets of his age. He died of influenza after taking a walk in the cold marsh weather in 1850. Among his greatest works are I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud, that we studied last year, composed upon Westminster Bridge, and The Solitary Reaper. That was a brief idea about William Wordsworth. Now, let's know more about Wordsworth. He was a great Romantic poet, as we said, who was born in 1770 and died in 1850. William Wordsworth was born on 7th of April 1770 in Cumberland, England. He was educated at Hopshot Grammar School. He was allowed to walk through the countryside. He was in continuous contact with nature, as his school was near his house, and he used to walk through the nature or through the forest to reach his school. His poetry was influenced by nature greatly. This affected his writings and it appears in his poems. He wrote many sonnets and poems. He was honored greatly. The Rainbow, composed upon Westminster Bridge, and The Solitary Reaper are some of his famous poems. He died in 1850. He was a great Romantic poet. What is a Romantic poet, or what is Romantic poetry? Let's see. Romantic poetry. Romantic poetry refers to the natural aspects of the world, focusing on the feelings of sadness and great loss and grief. The pioneers of Romantic poetry were William Wordsworth, Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Elements of the Romantic poetry: using simple language, using figures of speech, showing great love for nature, expressing religious feelings, showing in childhood, since children are nearer to nature. And these elements will appear clearly in our poem today, The Rainbow. So, The Rainbow is a good example for Romantic poetry. The Rainbow by William Wordsworth. Okay. A rainbow is an aspect of nature. Okay. We have children as aspects of elements of one of the elements of Romantic poetry. So we are going to find in our poem nature, childhood, religious, piety. Okay, now let's see our poem. My heart leaps up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. So was it when my life began. So is it now I am a man. So be it when I shall grow old, or let me die. The child is father of the man. I could wish my days to be bound each by natural piety. Okay, let's talk about the poem. My Heart Leaps Up, also known as The Rainbow, is a poem by the British Romantic poet William Wordsworth, noted for its simplicity of structure and language. As you can see, nothing is complicated about it. It's very simple. Wordsworth wrote My Heart Leaps Up on the night of March 26, 1802. He was in Dove Cottage with his wife. Okay, the main idea of the poem, it describes the joy that the poet feels when he sees a rainbow in the sky, and notes that he has felt this way since his childhood. He concludes the poem by noting how his childhood has shaped his current views and stating that the child is father of the man. So, this is a simple view of our poem. Now, let's read and paraphrase and comment on our poem. Okay, let's paraphrase the first two lines first. Who can paraphrase them with me? Okay, let's see the difficult words first on our lines, if there is some, or if there is any. My heart leaps up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. Of course, leaps means jumps. Behold means sees. And I think there is nothing else odd or difficult. Now, can you paraphrase the first two lines for me? Think, think, think. Yes, exactly. In lines 1 and 2, the poet expresses his happiness whenever he sees a rainbow in the sky. Okay, what about 3, 4, 5, and 6? Yes, think about them for a while, then tell me the paraphrase for these 4 lines. Good. The poet here shows his love for nature, which will never change. He said that our love for nature is born with us and it grows with us as we grow older. So it was born, or it is born with us in our childhood and grows with us as we grow older and older. He would prefer to die if the sight of a rainbow no longer made him happy. He compares the continuity of man's life to the continuity of nature, to show that man grows old and dies while nature remains beautiful forever. So, this is the paraphrase for these lines. Let's complete. Okay, the main idea here, rainbow is like the life. Figure of speech, a personification is in line 1. Do you remember what is a personification? Yes, exactly. A personification is giving a quality of a human being to non-living things. Okay? So, if you focus in line 1, my heart leaps, my heart jumps when I behold a rainbow in the sky, means that he gives the quality of jumping, which is a human quality, to the heart, which is a non-living or non-human. Okay? So, it's a personification. My heart leaps up is a personification. We have a sound technique, a repetition in so was it, so is it, so be it. Okay, we have a repetition here. Okay, let's move to the following lines, 7, 8, and 9. The child is the father of the man. I could wish my days to be bound each to each by natural piety. Okay, let's see what is difficult here. Is there any difficult vocabulary here? Yes. Bound means joined. Bound means join. Okay, piety means the action of showing and feeling deep respect for God and religion. Okay, so who can start paraphrasing the first line? The child is father of the man. Yes, think. Exactly. The poet here says that the child is nearer to nature than his father because he's innocent. The poet is referring to man's normal life cycle. Child grows and becomes a father for another child or other children. He believes that every human being is influenced by his childhood, and that the child is man's first teacher and instructor, and that the man is made from childhood experiences. Okay, this was line 7. Let's talk about 8 and 9. In the last two lines here, the poet sums up his love and admiration for nature. He expresses his wish to spend the days of his life in peace and harmony, enjoying the beauty of nature and showing love and respect for God. Okay. Let's see more. The main idea here is life is changeable. Okay. Figure of speech, we have a metaphor in lines 8 and 9. Yes, I wish my days to be bound each to each by natural piety. So he gives the quality of a chain to abstract noun, which is days. Okay, so a day, he compared the days to parts of a chain which are connected or joined together to each other. Another figure of speech here is in line 7, a paradox. What's a paradox? Yes, a paradox is the use of a statement which seems to be self-contradictory or absurd, which seems to be not right, wrong. There is something wrong about it. But with a deep thinking about this statement, you are going to find it turns to have a reasonable and sensible meaning. So, when we read the child is father of the man, there is something wrong about this statement. But if we think more deeply, we're going to find that this sentence has a deep meaning, which is, okay, it might mean that a child grows up to be a man, and one day this man would have another child, or be a man, be a father of another child or other children. Or the man is a result of his life experiences through his childhood. So his childhood experiences made him a man. So he is the result or the conclusion of his life experiences when he was a child. Okay, now let's move to the rhyme scheme of the poem. Behold, sky, began, man, old, die, the man, be, piety. Okay, this is the rhyme scheme, this is the rhyme scheme for the poem A, B, C, C, A, B, C, D, D. Okay, let's move ahead. The Rainbow is a good example of a romantic poem. So, why is The Rainbow is a good example of a romantic poem? Can you tell me now? Yes, exactly. You are right. All the romantic elements appear clearly in our poem here. So, first of all, the poet used simple language. all the vocabulary or the words used by the poet here in the rainbow are clear and very simple. So he used simple language. This is number one. Then the poet used personification, figures of speech. Okay, like personification, like we have paradox, we have figures of speech in our poem. As in my heart leaps up when he compares his heart to a happy jumping person. So, using of figures of speech is from the elements of romantic poetry and it is clear in our poem. After that we have the poet showed his great love for nature when he wrote his poem to describe the rainbow, which is an aspect of nature. So, this is another element of romantic poetry which appears clearly in our novel. In our poem. The poet also expressed his religious feelings in lines 8 and 9, and I could wish my days to be bound each to each by natural piety. And this is also from the elements of romantic poetry. He also believed that the child is nearer to nature, and expressing or talking about children and childhood is from the elements of romantic poetry. So, our poem here is a clear example of romantic poetry. Okay, William Wordsworth showed his love for nature in the rainbow course by talking mainly about the rainbow, which is one of the elements or aspects of nature. Okay, now we come to the end of our show. I hope you enjoyed it and see you later. Goodbye.